So first, you want to make your magic circle. You wrap it around and go over top the other string. So you go under the first one and you pull the other one through. I like to let go at this point, and then you take it just regularly how you would chain. Go ahead and chain 2. And then you want to do wrap yarn over and then go under that string and pull through just like you do on a double crochet, regular double crochet, and just keep doing that and make 10 double crochet. Once you got your 10, go ahead and pull that tail and then slip stitch at the first stitch at the beginning of the row. Chain 2, and then right in that first stitch the chain is coming out of, the very first stitch, you go in there twice. And you're going to increase in every stitch after that. So you should end up with 20 stitches in the second row. Second round. Okay, we have our 20 stitches, and we're going to slip stitch and chain 2 that very first stitch, and we're going to go in with 1 double crochet. And next stitch we're going to go with the increase, so 2 double crochet in the second stitch, 1 and 2, and you keep doing that, alternating all the way around, and you should end up with 30 stitches. So that's finishes round 3. Now we're going to start round 4. Slip stitch and chain 2. First stitch you're going to go in with 1 double crochet, and then the next stitch you're going to go in with 1 single double crochet, and in the third stitch you're going to do an increase. And then you do that all the way around, increasing every 3 stitches. And then increase in the third stitch. So we are at round 5. Slip stitch, chain 2. The very first stitch you want to go in and do 1 double crochet. The second stitch, do 1 double crochet. The third stitch, do 1 double crochet, and the fourth stitch is when you do your increase. One, 2, 3, and increase in the fourth one. As you might be catching on by now, you can do we're going to be slip stitch, chain 2, and you're going to go into the next 4 stitches is going to be 1 double crochet in each of the next 4 stitches. And then once you get 4, and then the 5th one is going to be an increase, so you're going to go in with 2 double crochets, and that is going to be your round 6. See, I'm counting 5 here, and at 5th stitch we're going to go ahead and do an increase, and then we're going to do the same thing again. Forward 1 double crochet in the next 4 stitches, and then an increase in the 5th one. Alright, here I'm just going to measure across, make sure I got the right measurement. This is like a medium or average size of 7 inches across, like 7 rounds. And yeah, for each round you want to subtract 1 for each round number, and that's going to give you how many stitches you need before your increase. So, you know, you go around 10. And so you minus 1, that'd be 9. And so every 9th stitch you're going to do an increase. And that's just an example. Or if you don't feel like doing math, you could just look at the previous row, and look where the increase is, and just go right in between those 2 stitches in that increase. And that's going to give you the same effect. But just make sure you're keeping track of your stitches. Each row is going to be about 10 more. So row 10 would have about 100 stitches, as an example. So here I'm just working the length of the balaclava and no increases. So this is going to give you that bucket shape, that bowl shape. If you don't like the seam to go at a slant and you want your seam to stay straight or even kind of less visible, I learned this little trick. So you just like normal, you go right into that first stitch, like normal. You go around, and then you are going to work that last stitch right there, but do not go like you usually do. Don't go into that slip stitch right there. And then you just slip stitch at the top of that row and finish that row or that round off. And on this next round, I'm gonna skip that first stitch, the very first stitch, and I'm gonna go into the next stitch with my double crochet. And then when I get back around, I am going to go into that slip stitch. Like, you don't usually go into that slip stitch at the end of a round, but here I am going to go into the slip stitch because it's gonna give me that seamless effect, and it's gonna keep my seam straight as well. So I'm gonna go into that slip stitch, and you do that every other row. You skip a stitch, the first stitch, and then at the end of the round you go into that slip stitch at the end of the round, and then you slip stitch and chain 2 like normal. Just showing you what it looks like. You can still kind of see the seam, but for me, I like it. I don't like that seam going slanted, and I don't like it. So yeah, that's what I do. Right here I am starting the space for the eyes, and I did, you can do math and figure it out how many you need on the back of the piece. I ended up having 70 stitches, so I measured and I just played around, and I saw that 20 stitches across is enough space for my eyes that I like the space to be. So I left out 20 stitches, and then here I'm working a chain of 20 stitches across. Now you want to make sure that these stitches are loose. Don't make them too tight, because it's gonna cinch your work. And you are going to take that space, and you are going to count 20 stitches across, and then you're going to attach your yarn at that 21st space down, and that's going to be a double crochet to connect, and then you're going to just keep finishing the row. Now I did my math. I had 70 stitches and 20 stitches of empty space for that row, then I was left with 50. So I got 25 on each side. So I started with 25 double crochet, did my chain, and then I ended with 25. Now you can do it the way I did it, or you can cut your yarn at your first 25 double crochet, cut that off, and then join, count 21, join, and then join at the 21st stitch, and then finish the row. And instead of doing the chain, and then once you work your way back around to that spot, you can do a foundation chain of 20 stitches, 20 double crochet, to finish off the round that's on the top, to fill in that space. That would actually be a little better if you don't want to deal with this part, which is going into the chains and creating that double crochet. That would probably have been easier, but if this is better for you, because I don't like to cut my yarn unless I really need to, so I just wanted to keep it continuous. Here I am kind of struggling with the chains, but yeah, so you want to make sure you go right under those 2 loops on the top there, just so you can be the same all the way through and you're not twisting. Yeah, this is how it's gonna look when you get done with that row, and you're just gonna keep going, no increases, until you get the length that you desire. Right here, before you get to that row where you skip those stitches, is about 7.5, about less than 7.5 inches, about just to give you like an idea of what it looks like. And it's about 6 inches across. Just give you an idea of where you can start. Try it on as you go. Hope that was helpful.